He advised her to seek for employment at Chief Chinedu's mine in order to gather some resources to support her aged mother. Zizy'a, a kingdom renowned for its fertile lands and vibrant culture, was ruled by a king, Ezuzu XIII. His reign was marked by peace and prosperity, and the kingdom flourished under his wise and benevolent rule. However, as he grew older, the future of Zizy'a became a matter of great concern. The king and queen, Adora, had one son, Prince Nduka. Handsome and full of strength, Prince Nduka was the pride of Zizy'a, but his character was a growing worry. He was a very arrogant young man who took pride in his position as the heir to the throne of Zizy'a. He took after his mother, Queen Adora, in character, having little respect for people. They showed great disdain for the poor and managed to tolerate the rich around them. As the prince reached the age to get married, the kingdom buzzed with anticipation. Irrespective of his inhumane nature, maidens from all corners of Zizy'a dreamt of becoming his bride. They revered him because of his prospect as the future king. Mothers brought their daughters to the palace, paying homage to the queen in hopes of catching the prince's eye. Queen Adora, however, had strict criteria. The future queen must come from a wealthy family. Ezuzu, on the other hand, valued kindness and humility over wealth. The queen's influence over the king was significant. She often swayed his decision to align with her own desires, and Prince Nduka, ever the mama's boy, leaned towards his mother's wishes. He adopted her arrogance, dismissing maidens who didn't meet his lofty standards. One day, Chief Chinedu, the wealthiest man in Zizy'a and a renowned merchant, visited the Ezuzu in his palace. He brought investors from the west, hoping to establish a mining venture that would bring even more prosperity to Zizy'a. Queen Adora, however, harbored a deep-seated jealousy towards Chief Chinedu's wife, Nneka. Nneka did not join the sycophants who clustered around the queen, and Adora, the queen, perceived this as arrogance. While Chief Chinedu and the Western investors were discussing the prospects of the mining venture with the king, the queen softly whispered something to her husband, Ezuzu the king. Unknown to the visitors, Queen Adora discouraged the king from entertaining the investors. Unfortunately, the king did not know how to say no to Queen Adora. Reluctantly, Ezuzu turned away the investors, refusing to accept their proposal. After their proposal was declined, Chief Chinedu took his investors with him and they left the palace, thinking of what next to do, because he had really hoped to establish the mining venture in his own hometown, Zizy'a. He later thought to move the business to his mother's hometown, UCHE, as the town was as well rich in solid minerals. He began to pursue the venture, and fortunately, the people of UCHE welcomed the investment, and Chief Chinedu, together with the investors, set up a huge mining business in UCHE. While taking a stroll through the village one afternoon, Prince Nduka encountered a young maiden named Odera. She was returning from the farm with her elderly mother. Unlike other maidens, Odera seemed unimpressed by the prince's charm. Prince Nduka was used to the admiration of the maidens of Zizy'a, but this indifference from Odera piqued Nduka's curiosity. Determined to know more, Prince Nduka subtly inquired about her background and learned that she hailed from a modest part of the kingdom. He decided to visit her later, intrigued by her lack of interest in him. Nduka began to pursue Odera, much to the envy and ire of other ladies in the village. Odera began to observe some negative attitude from some other girls who previously were friendly to her. It became obvious that Almost every girl was jealous of Odera having Prince Ndoka's attention. The young men of the village, however, were excited about the rumors around Prince Ndoka and Odera, as they thought they would finally stand a chance of successfully wooing the ladies of their choice. Prior to this time, majority of the ladies ignored the men of the village, each of them nursing the hope of someday becoming Prince Ndoka's wife. Despite Prince Ndoka's arrogant nature, Odera's mother advised her to consider the prince's advances, hoping it would improve their lives. Odera, a humble and sensible young woman, reluctantly responded to the prince's affection for her mother's sake. Not long after, word of Ndoka's interest in Odera reached Queen Adora. The first thing she inquired was the social status of her family, and on hearing that she was from a humble background, she was furious. She saw Odera as an unworthy match for her son. "What nonsense," the queen said. "How did that riffraff manage to charm my son?" The queen immediately sent guards to Odera's house, summoning Odera and her mother. They were initially excited, believing that it was going to be a familiarization visit. When they arrived to see the queen, she threatened Odera and her mother, vowing to have them killed if Odera continued seeing the prince. As soon as she dropped her threats, she commanded the guards to throw them out, fearing for their safety. The next morning, Odera's mother woke her up and urged her to consider leaving Eziama. She asked her daughter to seek refuge with her uncle in Umuochi. Odera, with a heavy heart, heeded her mother's advice and accepted to leave Eziama. In the next few days, Odera finally left for Umuochi. Upon arrival at Umuochi, she was warmly welcomed by her uncle and his family. After spending a few months with her uncle, he advised her to seek for employment at Chief Chinedu's mine in order to gather some resources to support her aged mother. Odera took the advice and quickly sought for employment at the mine. Considering how smart she appeared, she was given a chance to join the workers. Soon, Odera proved herself worthy of the job, as she was very committed and hardworking. Not long after she started working, she gained favor with her supervisors due to her hard work and wisdom. Over time, Chief Chinedu's son Ugochukwu, who was also part of the people overseeing the mine activities, took notice of Odera, admiring her diligence and character. He soon began to make advances towards her. He would make out time to visit her at her duty station on daily basis. Ugochukwu was a kind and humble man, irrespective of his father's wealth. He was very humane. Odera and Ugochukwu fell in love with each other and decided to get married. Chief Chinedu and Nneka, his wife, welcomed Odera into their family, and she and Ugochukwu were soon married. Back in Eziama, disaster struck. A deadly disease ravaged the kingdom's farmlands, which was their major source of livelihood, thereby impoverishing the whole land, leading to severe famine. The once prosperous land descended into poverty. Many villagers, including some of the king's closest advisors, migrated to Umuochi in search of greener pastures. Odera's mother joined the exodus, reuniting with her daughter in Umuochi. The royal family of King Ezuzu and Queen Adora were not let out of the hardship. Things became so soft that they could not pretend about the lack anymore. As Eziama continued to suffer, Ezuzu the 13th fell ill and eventually died. When a king dies in Igbo land, it is customary to give him a very elaborate burial, which would require a great deal of financial resources. However, the kingdom lacked the resources to give Ezuzu the 13th a proper burial as tradition demanded. Desperate for a solution, the remaining elders of Eziama after considering how prosperous Chief Chinedu had become in Umuochi, approached him and pleaded for his intervention, which he obliged and released some resources to them for the king's burial. The kingdom of Zizy'a, grateful for Chief Chinedu's benevolence, gathered themselves together and planned the very last ofala of King Ezuzu XIII in an honorable way. He was laid to be with his ancestors as tradition demanded. After the burial of Ezuzu XIII, consultation began among the Council of Chiefs with respect to the future of their kingdom, Zizy'a. They were concerned about the future of their kingdom and what it holds for their unborn children. After a series of consultations, they made a very weighty decision. With Zizy'a facing possible extinction, the Council of Chiefs approached Chief Chinedu with a proposition. According to ancient tradition, a king could only be succeeded by his son if the kingdom continues to flourish until the very day the king joins his ancestors. In the current situation that abject poverty had befallen the kingdom, it is an indication that the rule of the current family does not favor the land. Hence, a different family must take up rulership to give the kingdom another chance to prosper. Chief Chinedu saw an opportunity to expand his mining business, as Zizy'a was rich in untapped mineral resources. He therefore did not hesitate to accept the proposal. When Queen Adora heard of this decision, she was very furious and vowed never to allow that happen. Despite Queen Adora's vehement opposition, the decision of the chiefs was final. 1 year after the previous king was laid to rest, Chief Chinedu was crowned the king of Zizy'a as Ezuzu XIV. As the new king ascended the throne, he appointed Odera and Ugochukwu to oversee the mine at Umuochi, while also participating in the royal duties of Zizy'a. The former queen and the former prince Ndoka were relegated to a quiet life, burdened by the shame of losing their royal status. Prince Ndoka, once arrogant and haughty, now lived humbly, reflecting on the consequences of his actions and the twists of fate that had dethroned him. Queen Adora's resentment towards Chief Chinedu and his family intensified. She blamed them for her downfall. Her bitterness extended to Odera, whom she saw as an undeserving upstart who had stolen her son's future. Adora's anger was further fueled by the fact that Odera, now part of the royal family, had everything she had ever wanted for her son. As Chief Chinedu's reign continued, Zizy'a flourished. New trade routes were established, and the kingdom became known for its rich mineral deposits. The people of Zizy'a, once on the brink of starvation, now enjoyed a life of plenty. Schools were built, and healthcare improved. The once barren fields were now lush with crops, and prosperity filled the whole kingdom. Odera, once a humble village girl, was now a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of perseverance and humility. This story points to the importance of humility, the dangers of arrogance, and the power of unity and hard work. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. A big shout out to all our subscribers. We love and appreciate you for your support. Thank you so much. And if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please consider subscribing as it helps our channel to grow. And don't forget to like this video and share with your family and friends. See you in the next video. Remain blessed and prosper in all you do.